Fellas, we gotta talk. A lot of men seem to think that Donald Trump is some kind of tough guy. He's not. I mean, look.
Donald Trump wears more makeup than your Aunt Carol at a casino buffet, and somehow that's the least ridiculous thing about him this week. From tantrums to Twitter rants, Trump has been the star of a political circus. But this week, Dave Bautista, yes, Drax the Destroyer, delivered a takedown so raw, even Twitter needed a moment.
I mean, look at him. He wears more makeup than Dolly Parton. He whines like a baby. The guy's afraid of birds. Donald Trump had his daddy pay a doctor to say his Will feet hurt so he could dodge the draft. Look at that gut. Like a garbage bag full of buttermilk. He sells imaginary baseball cards pretending to be a cowboy fireman. The guy's barely strong enough to hold an umbrella. I mean, look how he drinks water. Like a little pink chickadee. He's got jugs, big ones, like Dolly Parton. He cheats at golf. He creeps around beauty pageant dressing rooms. You know that little dance he does? He looks like he's jacking off a pair of giraffes. He's moody, he pouts, he throws tantrums.
No, get those lights off!
He acts like a 5-year-old behind the wheel of a truck. He bends over for Putin. He's cattier on social media than a middle school bean girl. The guy needs help walking downhill. Almost there, Grandma. So this November, let's stop kidding ourselves. Donald Trump is afraid of rain, of dogs, of windmills, Merle Street, and being laughed at.
Let's be clear, Bautista didn't just crack a joke. He called out Trump as a 5-year-old behind a truck, and honestly, that tracks. Trump throws tantrums like it's his full-time job. From yelling at light technicians to rage-quitting press conferences, he's basically a walking Reddit thread in a suit.
Mommy, take me home. Mommy, I want to go home.
What's wrong, tough guy? Did someone grab you by the Why, you bitch.
Looking for the guys who can still see the room.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. Thank you. That's all right. Go home to mommy. Your mommy's waiting. Go home to mommy. Thank you very much.
It's not just what Trump says, it's how he sells it. Caked in bronzer and speaking in broken metaphors about apples and windmills, the man has turned presidential optics into a Halloween costume. And somehow, people are buying it.
MAGA means make America great again,
I tell a story about a woman. She got 3 apples. An old woman. She had 3 apples, and she brought them up to the cash register, and she looked at the woman and she said, "Is that the right price?" And the woman said, "Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry, yes it is." And she said, "Oh, that's okay, could you wait 1 minute?" And she took one of the 3 apples and she brought it back to the refrigeration, and she came back gently up to the cash register and she paid for 2 apples instead of 3. That should not be happening in our country. That should not be happening here. It's not going to happen here. We're gonna make it a much different place. We're going to slash energy costs. We're going to get your energy bills in half, and that's going to bring down the costs, generally speaking. Well, we have some of the dumbest leaders in the world. We have losers. We have losers.
They're losers. They're just losers.
We have very stupid people. We have stupid leadership. How stupid are our leaders? How stupid are these politicians to allow this to happen? How stupid are they?
Are you ready to be nice?
Hillary Clinton was the single worst Secretary of State.
Bautista's roast went deeper than surface-level makeup. He called out Trump's emotional instability, the pouting, the finger-pointing, the constant need to be the loudest guy in the room. We're not just talking about politics. We're talking about behavior that wouldn't fly at your nephew's t-ball game.
Every time I see him, he kisses my ass. Oh, Mr. President.
In fact, there aren't many who praise Trump. Here's some evidence of that.
He's so terrific at lying. I've never seen anybody so good.
When Trump became president, singer Cher felt like she was ready to fly to Jupiter.
He's an asshole.
She even likened this event to a personal tragedy.
It's like there's a death in my family.
And famed author Stephen King compares Trump to the most villainous character in his books.
Do you think that the Trump presidency is scarier than a Stephen King novel?
Short answer to that is yes, I do.
King banned Schwarzenegger feels the same way.
President Trump is a failed leader. He will go down in history as the worst president ever.
Iron Arnie and Donald have been exchanging public jabs for years. Their biggest clash began when Schwarzenegger took over as host of the NBC show Celebrity Apprentice after Trump.
They hired a big movie star, Arnold Schwarzenegger, to take my place. And we know how that turned out. The ratings went right down the tubes, and I want to just pray for Arnold if we can for those ratings, okay?
Talk of ratings and prayers naturally didn't go unnoticed by Arnold. He quickly recorded a message appealing to his rival.
Hey Donald, I have a great idea. Why don't we switch jobs? You take over TV because you're such an expert in ratings, and I take over your job. And then people can finally sleep comfortably again.
In his interviews, the actor still often mentions Trump and really hopes he won't make a return to politics.
There's too many people now that have seen what he did as president.
You know, back in 2017, many people didn't believe Trump would become president. Actor George Clooney was one of them. At a press conference in Cannes, here's what he said.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump. That's not going to happen.
When it actually happened, Clooney was extremely surprised. According to him, Donald isn't someone associated with being a serious person capable of leading the United States.
He was the guy that came to the bars and asked me about which cocktail waitress was single. You know, that's who he was.
This is back in the 90s.
Not that long, no, back in the 2000s, quite honestly.
George hasn't kept it a secret. He's deeply concerned about the country's future today.
There is a world where we could go back to where we were. I didn't think people would vote for someone who was so deeply flawed, you know.
Just another tool in the charlatan's arsenal. The former president lied to us more than 30,000 times during his 4 years in office.
The actor never misses a chance to take a jab at the former president, and he does it in a very blunt way.
I mean, he's so blatantly stupid. He's a punk, he's a dog, he's a pig, he's a con, a bullshit artist, a mutt who doesn't know what he's talking about.
De Niro even brings up his adversary on talk shows.
Today we have a kind of a weird, twisted president who thinks he's a gangster, who's not even a good gangster.
Anna, Lady Gaga, Anna Kendrick. They've all made it clear they're not fans of Trump. Hailey Bieber, when asked who she'd kick out of the country first, said,
Mr. Donald Trump.
Actress Jennifer Lawrence put it bluntly, if Donald Trump becomes president, it's the end of the world.
I was adamant on finding him and then making a video of me going, hey, Trump, you.
One of the most...
For ages 25 to 65, we've watched leadership evolve. We've seen strong presidents, flawed ones. But Trump, he's the first to act like a YouTuber with launch codes. Bautista's frustration reflects what a lot of Americans feel. This isn't just about left or right. It's about basic expectations, competence, maturity, and respect for the job.
Because when Donald Trump gave a crowd in Indiana, Pennsylvania, yet another review of my performance at the Academy Awards.
Remember the Academy Awards? I said how he's the worst host in the history of the Academy Awards. And this stupid guy goes up, and just before the Best Picture of the Year, the show is almost over. They're waiting for the Best Picture of the Year. He gets up, and he says, and his wife said, please don't do it. please, darling, don't go out. His manager said, don't do it. I have to do it. He goes out and reads my truth to the entire audience right before the best prime time, the best picture. And it said, basically, he is the worst host in the history. He reads the whole thing. And then I think he said something like, ha, 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 he thinks he bothers me, or some crap like that. I said, he's one of the dumbest human beings ever. He should have listened to his wife. What a dope.
Isn't that sweet? He's confusing me with one of his sons again. Do you think he's flirting with me? What is this? When I die, I would like that to be the clip they play at the Emmys in memoriam montage. He even worked my wife in there. Should I be worried that Trump has mentioned my wife more times at his rallies this year than his own? I also want to point out the Oscars were more than 6 months ago. He's still stewing over this joke. He keeps bringing it up, which I don't mind at all. In fact, I love it. I just wish he would quote it correctly. I didn't say, ha, 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 he thinks he bothers me. What I said was this. I just got a review, and has there ever been a worse host than Jimmy Kimmel at the Oscars? His opening was that of a less-than-average person trying too hard to be something which he is not and never can be. Get rid of Kimmel and perhaps replace him with another washed-up...
Jimmy Kimmel didn't miss either. When Trump told that story about the lady and the apples, late-night host had a field day. But behind the laughs was a brutal reality. Our political discourse has become a clown show, and this clown's in grease paint. In the end, Bautista didn't just drag Trump for the laughs. He dragged him because this matters. Because leadership isn't about memes and meltdowns. It's about responsibility. And if the guy with the Guardians of the Galaxy resume is the one making the most sense, we've got some serious rethinking to do.
I mean, look how he drinks water. Like a little pink chickadee. He's got jugs. Big ones.
What do you think? Was Bautista right on the money, or are we all just too sensitive for the truth? Hit that like button, subscribe for more unfiltered takes, and comment below with your thoughts, especially if you're between 25 and 65. We know you've got opinions, and so do we.